Hey guys, so I'm gonna discuss why we had to go to Mexico, what Mexico was about, how it affected us, and where we stayed. So it all starts 3 or 4 years ago, 4 years ago now. Me and my husband began a journey of making him a resident of the U.S. It was a very long journey. Lots of money got spent. We did get help from my grandma, which I'm not ashamed to say, if she wouldn't have helped us, we would have probably never been able to get it done. So I'm grateful to her and her help for that. And so are my kids, and so is my husband. So we began that journey. We went and met with a lawyer. We started everything. It's a long process, and a lot of people don't understand it. And a lot of times too, people think that, well, if you're illegal, you don't have, you're still getting food stamps and you're still getting all of this. That's a lie. You don't get food stamps. They don't even count you as a person living in the home. They actually say that you're not a person living in the home, but I'll count your income. And a lot of people think that these illegals get so many things that they don't pay taxes. That's a lie also. They do pay taxes. The majority does. They actually have a separate number. It's called an ITIN number. That ITIN number is actually how they are able to pay, because that is their tax identification number. So I get sick and tired of when I hear people be bashing these Hispanics because they don't pay taxes and they get to live off of what our country gives them. That's a fucking lie. It's bullshit. It's not true. Their children who were born here may get those benefits, but they don't. Okay? Let's clarify that right now. There was several times that, being a person who's married to somebody who was illegal at that time was terrifying. When I didn't hear from him for hours at a time, or when I couldn't get a hold of him, or he was late coming home and he didn't answer his phone, I kept thinking, oh my God, did the jail pick him up and put him, are they detaining him? Are they going to deport him? Like that constant worry. I've dealt with that for 13 years until this last year. A lot of people were like, well, how come it took you so long to start this process? Because we didn't have no money. We didn't have money. That's how it was. We didn't have the money. When my grandma offered to help us, that's when we took the chance and we started it. A lot of people don't understand that process, but it takes a long time. So we had to wait for them to give us an interview date. They gave us the interview date. And you have to show up in Juarez, Mexico, like 3 or 4 days before you go. So Abel and I, we found this hotel. It's not really a hotel. It's called Casa de Bugambilias. So Casa de Bugambilias is a house that has multiple houses, and they have several rooms. And basically it's similar to a hotel, but you go and these people help you through the entire process. They teach you how to go about your interview. They take you to your medical appointments. They get you your accidentes de penales. They help you get everything done that you need to get done. So when we got there, our first day there, we had to take our book, and I made a book because I was like, I want everything organized. All of my papers that I needed, my kids' birth certificates, their social security cards, our marriage license, my social security card, his ITIN number, like everything, our marriage license, like everything was in this book. Okay. So we rode the Greyhound there. That was a freaking nightmare. People stink. You can't pee because when you pee, you got shit sloshing up on your ass. It's gross. It's just nasty. you're crammed in this little space. They only stop for like 5 minutes at a time, so you have to really rush because everybody that's on that bus gets off and they go get in a fucking line at the gas station because we all want snacks. So then we're rushing, and the people at the gas station aren't rushing fast enough for us. So it took us almost 2 days to get to El Paso, Texas. We get to El Paso. We called the hotel. We were supposed to get on another bus to get us into Juarez. However, our driver that was picking us up in Juarez, she's like, hey, I'm actually in El Paso. How about I just come pick you up and take you across the border? And we were like, okay. So going across the border was terrifying for me. And I don't know why, because like, it's easier to go across than to come back. So we go pull in, and then they parked us. And this guy opens the door up, and I thought I had to get out. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I was like, oh my God, I don't know how this is going to happen. So I get out of the car, or I look out, and I was getting ready to get out. And then the guy closed the door, and I was like, oh my God. So then the lady gets back in the car, our driver, and she was like, I just told him that you are my cousin, and that's your wife, and you guys are just coming to visit us. And they let us cross. They didn't even check papers or nothing. So we go. She takes us to our hotel. We get there. We walk in, and they put us in a room. And Abel and I are exhausted. And the first thing we need to do is shower, because we went 2 days with no showering. We were extremely tired because we were sleeping on the bus like this in the seat and on the window, you know, trying to make everything fine. We were just drained, done for, wanted to just be done with the whole thing, right? So we took a nap, and then we decided we were going to go walk to what's called Oxo, which is it's like a gas station. However, it's not a real gas station. It's like a gas station market that has no gas. Confusing as hell. So we walked over there and got us a bunch of snacks. Now let me tell you, the first day we were there, we got a bunch of snacks, okay? We filled our basket with a bunch of snacks. And that first day, it was like we were by ourselves because we didn't know anybody really. Like, we just barely got there. It was just kind of awkward at first. But it got easier as time went on. So the place that we stayed at, Casa de Bugambilias, they gave us 2 meals a day, breakfast and like a 3 p.m. dinner/lunch. Delicious food, by the way. Amazing food. So that was included in our stay. We didn't really care for the room that we stayed in at first. And when we brought it up, they instantly moved us to a different room, and we loved our new room. So anyhow, we got a ton of snacks, like 2 bags full of snacks. And we gave the guy $20 of American money, and he ended up giving us like 400 pesos back, or 350 pesos back. And Abel and I was like, what the We're like, are you joking right now? That was way less than $20. Like, I was like, $5 is all we spent, and we had 2 bags full, plus like a big jug thing of water. So now the rules of the house that we stayed at, you have to, they want you to pitch in. So you use a dish, you wash your dish. You purchase water for you, you purchase water for the house. You buy milk for you, you buy milk for the house. Basically, because it's not fair to have something that other people might want. So that was the thing, you know, like we bought dish soap twice while we were there. We bought water, a lot of water, because we can't drink the water from the faucet. You have to buy bottled water. you know, Abel and I had so much fun. We walked like a lot of places. Like one day we had to go to the bank and get some money, and they told us to go to one bank, which was like 3 miles down the road. So we walked all the way down to that bank. We get there and they're like, you have to have an account to use this bank. And we were like, oh my God. So then we had to walk 3-4 miles the opposite direction to get to the bank. And then that bank actually was like really close to where we were staying. We had to walk to go to the laundromat because where we were staying, they didn't have any washer. They do have washer and dryers, but they had to close it off because people were washing clothes all day long and using the power and using the water and not respecting the house's rules. So they had to close it off. So we ended up having to walk to the laundromat, which was really not that bad. It was literally just down the street. So, and I enjoyed it because you got to see like the different sites. You got to see the different houses. Now every house down there is gated. They're fenced. Like you cannot just like walk up to their door. Like the people have to know that you're coming because you can't just go in. So anyhow, so we had to walk everywhere. We met amazing people, but by the way, when we were down there, like every day we met new people and they welcomed you with open arms. You know, they wanted to make you feel like you were a part of their journey as well, you know. And everybody in that house was going through the same thing. We were all dealing with the same situation. So all of us were able to communicate with each other and discuss, you know, don't say this or don't do this or, you know, things like that. And luckily, like when we were there, everybody was like very protective of me because I was like the only white girl. And like the people that we met down there, I have developed a friendship with all of them because we all went through that together. You know, one of them, her name is Victoria. She was like amazing. Like we did everything together. I also met Brenda, and Brenda, she was the one who was actually getting her papers, and her husband was white and he was there and didn't speak any Spanish. So they were awesome. I really enjoyed them. There was a guy named Juan who came there alone, and he actually stayed with me when I was waiting for Belle to come out of the interview process. And then there was Claudia and Samuel, and they were amazing. They helped us through a lot of the stuff too. I mean, like there's just so many. There was Laura and Santiago. Like I'm telling you guys, like the list goes on and on and on. And it's just incredible how you build those friendships. So, like, share, and subscribe my video. I'm going to have to do a part 2 to this because I'm almost at 15 minutes. But I'll continue this story. So share, like, subscribe my video. Mexico part 2 coming up.